Something that my Uncle John Elliott Stalquith once said to me and to a group of youth was that we needed to practice our Kwetlal ways of being. And if we stopped practicing our Kwetlal ways of being, we would no longer be Kwetlal people. The way that we connect to land, the way that we connect to our foods, the way that our teachings are wrapped into all of those things, that's what makes us Kwetlal people. That's where my identity is, and it's important for my sense of belonging and also for my children's sense of belonging in this world. A pit cook is a traditional method of cooking food underground.
One of the traditional ways of cooking Kwetlal camas.
Our traditional starch in the territory, so camas is a bulb of a flowering plant.
Camas is very unique in how it's pit cooked, dug a certain way to contain the heat and to slow cook the camas. They're really here today because of our ancestors and how they managed, which you now know is the Garryoka ecosystem, the Kwetlal food system.
Typically you would harvest greenery the day before you would have a pit cook. In our territories we use salal, fern, and different types of algae. You'd place the rocks in the hole in the ground, you build the fire on top, shovel out any remaining wood after a few hours. You end up having a layer of hot rocks, greenery, wrapped food, another layer of greenery, canvas, and then you pour soil on top.
Kind of like the lid, keeps the heat all in and it just slowly cooks. Over 24 hours to 48 hours is a traditional way of cooking Kwetlal.
Fruits of our labor. Cheryl has really inspired me to want to learn more about camas. It was something that wasn't familiar to me. She's somebody who's advocated for it for years. I knew eventually I would have the opportunity to do a pit cook, and luckily Cheryl was the person who was able to show me how to do it.
We have a responsibility and a role too, and we connect so much so to this and very important land and food system. And I think creating that awareness is so important. That's one of the things that I really like to encourage Bianca to continue to do. I could see the passion in her, and I could see her connecting well with the land, and I could just see her really doing well harvesting and pit cooking and creating awareness.
We have a word in our language, it's called Chilangan. The direct translation is inherent birthrights. So for me, I have a birthright to know these things. It reminds me of the stewardship that women in Kwetlal in the Kwangan territories had in relationship to Kwetlal camas. All plants share stories and they tell a history, and so it's a reminder to me of where I come from, who I am. It's important that I pass those things on to my daughter and to my children, and that we keep those things alive. And I think it's important to practice those things in my life, not just because I would have to for a job, but because I want to live it.